Good afternoon, folks. Here's a wonderful little article from GameSpot.com talking about whether or not streamers or people who stream video game content, whether it's multiplayer games or just games in general and Let's Plays, should pay game developers. And this was all started with a Twitter comment by a Google Stadia dev. And I'm not sure how important he is in terms of gaming. I don't know who this guy is. It's really not that important. But this was brought up about a week ago. And his name is Alex Hutchinson. He says, the real truth is the streamers should be paying the developers and publishers of the games they stream. So that's a rather two-tiered way of getting the license or getting the right, the freedom to actually use whatever content you have on your computer to stream to a media platform or to some sort of online streaming service. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for the content they use, which is curious. So let's take a look at, let's say, videos. Videos are an individual format. It's a passive experience, and YouTube can track whether or not you have, let's say, Terminator 2. You bought the movie. It's yours. You own it, and you're watching it online, and you're streaming yourself watching it online, and that's probably not going to go too well because YouTube can track that. There's lots of laws against reproduction and copyright with video. But with video games, it's a lot different because things are so dynamic. It's very hard to track it, and there are no laws in place. You could probably track it. It's just very difficult. So you have open worlds, you have multiplayer games. Everything's being, by competitive nature alone, to be shown in streaming, to be shown to people who want to watch that content. So think of it, let's rewind. Let's rewind 40 years. And let's say you buy a car. And you buy a car and you say, hey, I'm going to review this car, or you rent a car and you review the car, and you do this over and over again, and you make a show of that, and you can put this on TV. Well, the TV, and this is just an example of Motor Week, which I remember back in the 80s, I used to watch it with my dad, and he liked watching about cars. And this started in 1981, and Motor Week got popular. I think it's still going on. And imagine if, because you bought a car or rented a car from, I don't know, Hyundai or Honda, or pick any car manufacturer, and you have to pay them as well as the dealership, I guess, or the manufacturing plant to talk about the car, to talk about, go through the paces, have it drive up here and there, do speed tests, do braking tests. Like, that would be strange. Of course, this is not media. This is a tool. This is a utility vehicle. This is a thing you buy. This is an over $20,000 investment. So there's different rules for media as there are for, let's say, vehicles. But the principle is still the same. You have a thing you own, but you're not allowed to show it off online or stream the data or make a video about it unless it's transformative in nature. So it would change the very nature that we take place of YouTube, not by much though. So let's take a video game that I put together a few years back, Mass Effect Andromeda, for example. So here's my video source or my video series, and I listed in their categories that YouTube provides. So here's the actual Mass Effect Andromeda page. I go to that page, and here we have subcategories of Mass Effect Andromeda. So this is just YouTube, see, auto-generated by YouTube, just categorizing the actual product as a video game. So here we have the homepage, has all kinds of subcategories, official, other games from BioWare, popular videos of Mass Effect Andromeda, based off date. So, this was 5 days ago. This was 3 days ago. We have just random exploration. We have Let's Play videos. That's a specific kind of streaming. So we have people just saying, hey, let's play a game. I'm going to watch myself play a single-player game or a multiplayer aspect, perhaps. And there it is. So that someone has 106 videos in a playlist, 116, 7. So there's all kinds of people doing this. Here's the official. So this is the official Mass Effect YouTube page, and here's the official BioWare page. And that's it. So what would happen if they would be like a licensed streamer option? You'd have call them streamers or whatever, and they just have a separate option. Whether that would remove these other options, I don't know. But if the idea is to have some sort of payment for being a streamer or being some sort of weird media promoter, that would just be a second option on top of that. I don't think they could do away with the law, and the law that says, regards to fair use, that you have things that are based off copyrighted material, which is what a video game is. but it's transformative in nature. You're actually playing the game. It's kind of like doing that Motor Week and you're driving the car while you're filming yourself drive the car and talk about the car. So you're doing it for a transformative purpose, such as criticizing, parodying, or copyright, or whatever content you want to do with it. So a review, an analysis, that sort of thing of the car, of the game, of the movie, of whatever. So you have to rewrite the law to accommodate that, either to make it more strict and then to allow business, whether it's a media platform or a channel system, whether it's streaming or, I don't know, I guess maybe TV would have to do that as well, to allow individuals to communicate directly to the publishing company or the developer that say, hey, can we get something going that I'm allowed to do this online and you can get a cut of the ad revenue? Because we talk about ad revenue, that's what it comes down to. That's where they make their money. With the TV station, they have the time slots, the 22 minutes for the half-hour Motor Week show, and then they have the 8 minutes of advertising in between the show itself, so the commercials essentially, which is the same thing with YouTube. They have pre-roll, end-roll, and mid-roll ads. And in the case of, for YouTube Super Chats, it's 33%. So they take their cut. YouTube always takes their cut. That's why I'm always advocating for Streamlabs or other platforms, because they take nothing. They give it directly to the individual. So if there was an actual license that would benefit the streamer, why not? That'd be great. The dev could get some cut of ad revenue. Maybe that would help. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. It's kind of an argument to be made when you do sign up for YouTube and you want a third-party advertising agency to do your ad revenue for you. So you don't always have to go through YouTube. That's the thing. I don't bother with all that crap. I'm not heavily invested in AdSense with Google and YouTube. I'm happy to do my own thing with Smudcast. So it's not that big a deal, but it would involve a lot of legal changes and things. Here's an interesting take by Michael Hartman here. Viewer attitudes and expectations have changed and evolved. They are primarily there to be entertained by the streamer and the channel. They aren't in shopping mode when they sit down to watch a stream. Not necessarily. If you're going to Amazon.com and you're just looking for information on a game or piece of media or whatever, you're already in shopping mode. If you're going to Google, then you're not. You're sort of just looking in general. So if you're going to a specific website that sells stuff, you're in shopping mode. And nothing is stopping you from buying the game directly from YouTube, or if I could provide a link, I provide links right there, affiliate links to Amazon. So it depends. You could be influenced by people on stream or people on YouTube or any other media platform to buy the thing they're talking about or buy something else. Maybe I could recommend another game when I'm talking about Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm like, don't buy this, buy this. So that's one form of free publicity to these companies, or maybe to another company if I dislike the thing. So if you get a license from that company or dev about the game you're advocating or not advocating, they might not get a sale out of that, but they get more eyeballs on it. So it's free marketing either way. It will only change and should only change if it benefits both streams and devs, and this is the difficulty. Because how do you make extra money for what causes the dev to make money? What causes the streamer to make more money? Because then they'd have to share some of the profits from the ad revenue or from the super chat or from whatever with the dev. So there would have to be some relationship with YouTube that would allow both parties to benefit more than if the streamer was just doing it by themselves. So if it was a super chat takes 1/3, so that's, let's say you give me $5, that's $3.66 I get, 66 cents I get, $1.33 to YouTube. So if they were to roll back some of those percentages, take a lower cut that would benefit the streamer and the dev, okay, maybe something like that could work. But you can't change the nature of people streaming content, especially with competitive gaming, multiplayer gaming, where the whole point is to play with other people. And if you're playing with 20 other people, all of which own the game, nothing says you can't do that from a public venue like a YouTube streaming platform or outside or what have you. So you have to provide some benefit outside of what already exists, for the streamer. I know of at least one Twitch competitor that has a revenue share with game devs as part of its USP, unique selling point, though we've seen how hard it is for anyone to compete with Twitch. Right. So you're going to have to do something very beneficial to cause these streamers to get licenses that are more beneficial than what if they did not get a license. And that's tough. And what would YouTube get out of that? Less revenue for itself. So I don't see how that would be a thing. I don't see how YouTube would be asking lawyers to change the law, the fair use law, or any sort of law that allows a licensee to be created on that system, if there was to be one. But ultimately, it's a silly thing to say. I think the setup is okay as is, and Let's Plays are part of the whole procedure, whether it's critical analysis, whether it's parody videos, whether it's modding content. You should have every right to publish your video content on your computer, any digital video you want to make, onto a streaming platform for free, unless, of course, there's some weird standard where you start charging people using YouTube. That would just be a ridiculous idea by Google, but okay. So no, I don't think this is a great idea. And until they change the law, this is not a problem. So a silly concept. I guess maybe Mr. Alex is feeling a bit peckish. He's not getting enough money. He's not feeling the love from whatever publisher or developer he works with. And I don't know. It's a strange thing. It's one of those mentalities. I wish the rich were taxed more and you happen to be rich, or something nonsensical like that. No one wishes to be taxed more, including the rich, including the poor. So why would you take away or increase the percentage that the bigger corporations take from you, the little guy, the streamer, just because you feel there's some ethical reason behind it? I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening, folks. Have yourself a great day.